as far as I can see, no one is here. So I wait, let's say, 1 more minute, and if the situation will not change, then I will use my earlier lecture and send to the students. Okay, so I'm starting to talk about today's lecture. Good evening for the students who are here. So today we will talk about the monogenic disorders. So what is this first? What does it mean, monogenic disorders? So disorders mean that diseases, right? And monogenic means that these diseases are caused by the mutation of a single gene. Let's consider the different type of diseases classified in different terms, I would say. So we can distinguish between monogenic diseases, right, which I have just defined, the so-called umbrella diseases. Umbrella diseases means that a certain disease can be caused by individual genes, but not only one, but multiple ones. So it means that, let's say, a disease can be caused by genes A, B, C, and D, and A alone, B alone, C alone, and D alone can cause these diseases. Multifactorial diseases, or earlier it was called as polygenic diseases. The polygenic diseases means that multiple genes underlie of the diseases, and the name changed to multifactorial because not only the genes but also the environment and the lifestyle contribute to the development of the diseases. So the chances that the disease will develop is dependent on the environment and the way how we live, whether we make sports or smoke cigarettes or whether we are obese or not, etc., etc. Today there is a new name for this class of diseases. They are called as complex diseases. Actually, the predominant majority of the diseases are complex diseases, which includes, for example, most of the cancers, the cardiovascular diseases, schizophrenia, depression, obesity, high blood pressure, etc., etc. There are also mitochondrial diseases, which is based on the mutation of the mitochondrial DNA. That usually this kind of functions cause those kind of diseases which are related with the with the energetic aspects of the body and of the cells. Chromosomal disorders are a larger extent disease. So it means that there are breakage of the chromosome, reorganization of the chromosomal arms, or in an extreme case, the chromosomal number can be changed. Epigenetic diseases is when the epigenetics, so the genetic regulation, is changed. There are also non-inherited genetic diseases, which are, for example, a cancer, because there are some type of cancers which can be inherited, but most of them are non-inherited. But why do we call them as genetic disease? Because the cancer is a genetic disease. The genes, the genome, the chromosomes, undergo mutations, but you do not inherit them. And there are also non-genetic diseases, for example, accidents and other kind of diseases. But I have to tell you that although not directly, but the accidents are also related to the genetics, because if you are strong, you are fast, and your attention system is good, then you have a much lesser chance to be hit by a car, let's say. Okay, so in another way we can classify the diseases as cardiovascular diseases. Actually, in Europe, the cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of the disease. But in some countries in the last years, such as the Netherlands and Denmark, the cancer is the leading cause. In other countries, these are the second causes. The autoimmune diseases, metabolic disorders, dementia, etc., etc. So actually there's a penetrance continuum. So for the monogenic diseases, the penetrance is very, very high. If it were not the case, then a single gene, with a low penetrance would not cause a disease at all. At the other extremities of this continuum are the complex diseases. If multiple genes are involved, and each of them, has only a very low level of penetrance, it doesn't matter, because the effects, of the multiple genes will be added. So actually, in the case of monogenic diseases, we cause the genetic background as a causative factor, while in the case of the complex diseases, a particular gene variant can be called as susceptibility factor. And the other thing is that in the case of monogenic diseases, the particular gene is mutated, is malfunctional. In the complex diseases, it's not necessarily, the gene maybe it's intact, but maybe the expression level, etc., so can be, the reason for being a susceptibility factor. Right. So monogenic diseases represents, maybe it's old data. Not only 6,000 monogenic diseases are known, because utilizing the modern technology, we detect more and more monogenic diseases. Many of them are called as rare diseases. Maybe they are, just constrained to a single family. So we can distinguish between autosome linked and sex chromosome linked diseases, and it can be dominant, recessive, or incomplete dominance. And other lecture we discuss it in more detail. So let me introduce a term which is called heterozygote advantage. But actually the thing is that as far as I know, nobody is listening to the lecture, thereby I terminate the lecture, and I will send you this lecture, which I hold, I think, 2 years ago. Anyway, okay.